Okay. Thank you, everyone, for taking time and joining this webinar. Agile Commune has been conducting a series of webinars in the past and on varied subjects, though we primarily focus on Agile product development. However, we got an opportunity to invite Mr. Ganesh Kuduva as a speaker for this webinar. Just to let you know, we both worked together in 2019 in an organization as Agile coaches. At that point in time, he was already a ultra marathoner and was passionate around running. Just to make sure, in case people are not really aware about the ultra marathon, it is a marathon of more than 50 kilometers, and he has been running even more than that. So after spending around 23 years in IT industry, he made a switch in his career and became an author, followed by roles as a holistic health and wellness coach, public speaker on health and wellness, and content creator, and which ultimately earned him as a recognition of LinkedIn top voice. So just to make sure that, as we know that all this is not easy, as many of us who try to move such a transition can understand. I personally feel, which I also conveyed to Ganesh as well, it requires a lot of discipline, patience, resilience, and a never say die attitude, which I feel comes from him being a sports person. So there are a lot of learning which will be evident from this webinar. So without further ado, I would like to invite Ganesh to present this session. Actually, thank you.
Thank you so much, Srikanth, for a nice introduction. Good evening, all of you. First of all, thank you for making time to be part of this webinar. I know it's a weekend and we all Can you hear me, Srikanth?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, sure. Just wait for the video. I'll just proceed in the meantime, okay? I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
Share the presentation here quickly. It's taking a minute here. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Yeah, once again, I'm happy to be here talking to all of you, sharing my personal story and experiences. If there is something that you all can take away from this webinar, I'll be very happy. With that, my intro, Srikanth has covered it, but just to add more meat to that, I worked in IT for 23 years, a lot of MNCs, lot of technical roles, program management roles, agile coaching, various geographies. But then, life is calling happened, and I became a solopreneur. Today, what I do is I conduct, I offer one-on-one health coaching programs for people globally. Right now, I have customers from US, India, Sri Lanka, and Canada, and expanding more as I work on. So, what I do exactly is I offer 5 programs: healthy weight loss, gain, type 2 diabetes reversal, running, fitness, and diet nutrition. Apart from that, as Srikanth mentioned, I'm author of a book. I'm writing more books. I'm a public speaker now for corporate companies and their clients. I also act as an advisor and mentor for some of the healthcare startups also. Yeah. I'm an ultra marathoner as well. Yeah. With that, I'll just move on. Before I go ahead to the presentation, some disclaimers. I know it's not necessary, but I thought I should talk about these. So this presentation is not about how to create wealth quickly. Okay. There are many people, who have this notion that, being a freelancer, a solopreneur, or entrepreneur, they all make a lot of money, right? I mean, definitely all of us want to make money, That also happens exponentially over time. But this presentation is not about focus on that actually. It's about the journey of how one can do what can be done to become a solopreneur. Yeah. And see the potential in it actually. Yeah. That's what I'm going to share. Everything I share may not appeal to you because every life is unique. What I do, how I do in certain ways may not appeal to you. And when you do your solopreneur journey, you might do in a different way. Yeah. So let us recognize that. And also, life is not full of objectivity. Yeah. I know we all, especially being agile coaches, you want to be pragmatic all the time. You want data, to talk about something. But life is not. Life doesn't work like that. It's more of subjectivity, right? It's more about sometimes, subjectivity drives life and make you do something where eventually you become objective, right? That's what happens in a journey like this. Yeah? And finally, I will try my best to answer your questions if there are any. Sometimes I not have an answer, so I hope that is fine as well. With that, what I want to share in today's webinar is three core pillars to a solopreneur journey, right? What one needs to leave a 9 to 5 job, what all should be done in three major areas and become a solopreneur. Yeah, I will talk about them, deep dive into them. I will share why I became a solopreneur, my personal stories. And then I will talk about niche, right? When you talk about solopreneur, you want to be strong in certain skills, domains, right? Without that, becoming a freelancer or a solopreneur is probably impossible. Yeah, you have to have a good skill in the domains, right? Interest areas. So I will share about some of the perspectives about niche, right? How do you go to identify them? How it works, all that. And then I will deep dive into preparation before becoming a solopreneur, right? What all I did before I became a solopreneur, right? And then the journey, right? How did I go about finding clients? How did I do marketing? What are some of success stories I have seen so far? Yeah. When you say success stories, I wouldn't say success actually. It's a progress. I'm making progress, and I will share all of them with you, and how it helped me create more earning channels. Yeah. I wouldn't say income channels. Income is more like you give time and make money. But my thinking is that over a long period of time horizon, I want to be able to make more passive income also. Yeah, that's the idea that I have actually for personally for me. It can differ from for everyone actually, right? It not be same for everyone. I will also share some of the tools resources I use as a solopreneur. There are not a lot of tools I use today because there are plenty of tools in the market, but it all depends on what do you really need based on what you do in your space. Yeah. So I use few tools. I will share about them. I will share a lot of lessons learned actually. There are pretty good number of lessons learned actually. I will share all of them. I will also share how my day looks, day in the life of Ganesh Kuduva, right? I mean, I'm sharing this because people are curious, like, how does it work? How does the day look? How do you manage your life, right? Because everybody is a 9 to 5 job. We all know how 9 to 5 job works. We go to office, work full day. We do a lot of things actually in office and come home and do whatever it takes and then go to bed. But being a solopreneur is more about how do you lead your day, right? It needs more motivation, more clarity, more focus. Yeah, self-driven. You should be self-driven, yeah, basically. Yeah. And finally, I will say some closing inspiration for all of you. With that, so three core pillars. If you ever want to be a solopreneur in your life, you want to quit your 9 to 5 job and do a solopreneur, become one. You need these three. Yeah. First one is the seed and why. The very reason to why you really want to become a solopreneur, that has to become very, very clear. Yeah. Without that clarity, being clear, it will be very hard to be a solopreneur. Yeah. When I say solopreneur, it means business, entrepreneur, whatever it can be. But I'm talking about more of a solopreneur context. Yeah. As an individual. Yeah. I will share more about that from my story, and I will talk about financial planning. So we all know that whoever works a 9 to 5 job, monthly salary comes, and you just keep going with your life. But when it comes to solopreneur, the income may not be steady. So like, what do you do? How do you transition? How do you shift from being a 9 to 5 who gets regular salary to a role where you can't expect every month fixed salary, right? How do you go about it? I'll share about that. And the final piece is very important: living the dream. So what all I do today as a solopreneur, what I started doing and how it went. I will share all the journey, yeah, so that it gives some insights to you as to how you also can do in your life if you want to do become a solopreneur. The seed and why. So three major pillars. This is more to my life actually. This can be different for different personalities, different people. Yeah, but this is for me actually. How my seed happened. How the way how I found my way actually. Right. I will share about these three. So personal health transformation. So I went through my own personal health transformation that became the very core of what I am today and what I am doing today. Yeah. I have seen many achievers, successful people. Even you can see in the social media that whoever is doing well, they all, in some corner of their life, have focused on their health first. Health became one of the very core pillar and foundation to what they do actually. Yeah? We'll talk more about that. And believing in strengths. So I, over time, started learning about where my strengths are. Yeah? That that paved the way to becoming a solopreneur. Yeah? So that is very important. Yeah. And then third one is dreaming to achieve full potential. So achieving full potential has always been important driver for me personally, right? So whenever I identified my strengths, I thought about what could I do about it. Yeah, I kept thinking about it, and though it took quite some time now, I'm 50-year-old today. But if you start early, it's better actually. You can identify your strengths, what are your potential areas where you can become better, do good things, great things. You can do actually, right? So these three I will deep dive into quickly now. So something happens inside you or to you before it manifests in the world, right? So this I'm saying because the way has to be very, very clear. So without a clear, strong way, you can't manifest the thoughts and ideas into the world actually. Today, whatever I'm giving as part of product services, whatever I do today, there's a way behind it actually. Yeah. Strong ways is needed. Talking about my personal health transformation. So three things I'm going to talk about quickly: personal health transformation, believing in strengths, and achieving potential. Yeah. First one, personal health transformation. Quickly, my story. Year 2008, life was stressful, especially at work for me. Very, very stressful. Uh, um, I was like 34-year-old by then, I think. And I had a severe lower back pain, bedridden for 2 weeks, unable to stand even. I was just lying in bed for 2 weeks. Yeah. My weight was 78 kg, though it is not a very heavy weight, but I felt I was feeling heavy, yeah, through what I was going through actually, the lower back pain, everything. And because I had more stress, I was sleeping more, I was eating more, so life was not in control at all. Yeah, it was not in good control at all. So all this caused me, all this took me to a very low actually in life. I went to a very rock bottom, I would say. Yeah, I was in a very low at that time. And somehow one fine morning, I got up and early morning went out for a walk, thinking I want to change my life, starting with my health and fitness. Yeah, that's where I started actually. So I did daily walking for 2009 whole year. 2010, I started running. It became running slowly over time. 2011 to 14, I became a marathoner. I ran like 10K off marathon, full marathon. So off marathon is 21.1 kilometer, full marathon is 42.2 kilometer. So I ran them, and 2015 to 2018, I became ultra marathoner. Like Srikant mentioned, it's above 50 kilometer. Any distance above marathon is ultra marathon. I have run like 12 hours, 24 hours, 100 kilometers, all the distance. So this 2015 to 2018 were the defining years for me. I will dive into that, but I just want to mention this. These were the defining years for me in my life. Yeah. 2015 is when I did my first ultra marathon, 75-kilometer run. I finished that run and I sat down, and like magic happens in life sometimes. Yeah, like the life is calling moments come. So I closed my eyes, sat down, and I thought about my life actually. So what I am doing today, what I am today, uh, you know, what can I do differently in my life? Those things strongly came over me actually, and I strongly felt. I think corporate job is not the place where I want to lead my life. That first thing happened in that moment actually, right? And that moment happened, and then I didn't know much about it. But then slowly started taking shape actually. From since 2015, starting shape. 2016 is when the year end I do retro for every year at the end of the year, and I did year end retro on 2016, and that's when I finally decided, let me start doing something about my thoughts and ideas. Yeah, to quit the corporate job. Yeah, and this is what happened actually. 2017 is when I did yoga certification. First thing. 2017 is when I also became a running coach for Pinkathon. Being a runner for many years, I had known many things about running, how to do running, what not to do, what to do, how to prevent injuries, a lot of things, quite a lot of things. And I thought I can give it back to people. I did that for free actually. 2017 whole year. Apart from my job, I did this as a side hustle, but no payment, nothing. I just did for the sake of doing it, so I know how I do and how it makes me feel as a coach on the platform, on the ground. And 2018 is when I became a running consultant at Cultivate. First assignment for me as a side hustle while I was in job. And I got up early morning, go to the class, come home, get ready, go to work. So this happened in 2018. And I started giving shape to my dreams, actually, my thoughts and my ideas. So this year was a very critical year, transforming it for me, I would say. 2018 year end is when I took a first attempt at quitting my IT job. When I say attempt, not I didn't do much actually. I just I just was thinking about quitting the job, right? And I had a conversation with my wife, and somehow we didn't feel financially I was ready. So I just continued actually. I joined ANZ. That's when I met Srikant and other some of great colleagues of mine. And I worked there for 2 years. And year 2020 came, COVID happened, and that's when the opportunity came to think about quitting the job. Actually, right? It happened, and I dared to make a decision of quitting the job. Actually, it was not easy, but I did quit, and I'm pursuing my dream now journey. It's progress really well. I will share my progress also in the upcoming slides. See, transforming your health is not about your health alone. You change as an individual inside out. Right? For any of you here today in this call, if you never looked at your health as one of the core pillars of your life, I would urge you to take a look at your health. Work on your health, because working on your health is very magical. It can change you as a person so much. I can vouch for it. Yeah? For me, it gave courage, confidence, clarity, and a vision. Everything came from my health, personal health transformation. Second one, believing in strengths. I will quickly share some of the stories in this one. Yeah. So in 2016 is when I was attending a corporate training as part of my responsibilities. I was in a corporate training, and one of the CEOs of a GE business came for a guest speaker. And he talked about many things, but one thing that he talked about caught my attention very deeply, because I was already thinking about quitting the job, doing something else. He said this actually. He said, for his own life, he said, he always worked on his strengths more. His strengths more to grow in his life, not just career life, even in personal life. When he focused on his strengths, growth came. Tremendous growth came, is what he told actually, that speaking session. That caught my attention very deeply. Yeah? And it made me feel, so where are my strengths? What am I doing about my strengths? Am I wasting it, or am I capitalizing it? Okay. And at the same time, I mentioned this also. So I know we have strengths and developmental needs always, all the time in corporate life. You always are given feedback from your manager, bosses, all that. But you can work on development needs also. So it also has a value, but focus more on strengths if you want to grow in life. It's the message I got, first message. And then I led health initiatives for GE. For GE, when I say multiple businesses, it's about 1,200 employees. It's a big unit. I led the initiative for the whole GE businesses, and leading this initiative gave me a lot of insights into the healthcare world, actually, the health and wellness world, actually. How leaders think about it. When I talk to a lot of leaders to come up with what should we do for the employees, then reaching to employees, doing surveys, interviews, how employees are thinking about health, actually, right? So I became a person of health. I already had a health and wellness focus for my own life, But then I started seeing more actually in the world, how people are thinking about health and wellness, what they need really, right? I did a lot of things in that year. It was 2015, 16, I guess. The whole 2 years gave me a lot of learnings around what's happening in the health and wellness world actually, and what are the potential areas. Yeah? So those became my strength as well as I proceeded in my life. Speaking, when I say I took initiative whenever an opportunity came at the work to be able to address large forum. Like for example, leading healthcare initiative itself was a role where I had to talk to a lot of people too frequently. Actually, addressing a large audience, conducting webinars like this, right? Getting someone, organizing events, things like that. So I developed an interest in speaking also over time slowly, addressing people, interacting with people. And while I was doing this, writing also slowly took shape actually. The idea for my first book, Be a Runner Forever, came through that journey actually. And I started writing in Facebook, a lot of things I write in Facebook about sharing my running stories, all that. And so I sensed I also have strengths in writing. People told me your writing is good actually. You can inspire people through your writing. It's what I got from many people. Even I felt innately I am good at writing. So I started writing actually. Final one, genuinely caring for people. So this also I have seen as one of my strengths all along through various incidents and roles. Wherever I was caring for people. So these four things became the foundations of my strength actually, the journey of the strength, identification or discovery. Yeah. See, identifying your strengths take time. Yeah, for everyone, it takes a lot of time because we don't spend time in identifying what we are good at actually. But if you spend time consciously with high awareness, it will actually help you a lot in becoming a solopreneur or anything else. Even in your corporate job, if you want to grow, focus on your strength actually. Identify your strength, groom your strength, nurture your strength. You will really grow faster. Yeah. Um, the third one, achieving full potential, right? Um, so some of the things that I want to be, all this didn't happen overnight, right? When I say achieving full potential, what all I want to be doing in my life, in defining that, to define that, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time actually, months and years it takes. But over time, slowly I have found that I am good at health coaching and I can do a lot of things in health coaching. It's what I understood actually, discovered. And then I also wanted to become a renowned author and writer slowly over time. I want to become a good speaker and educator, which I'm doing already with a lot of corporate companies and creating a lot of content, educating people about health and wellness and inspiring as many lives as possible. So these are I can also relate these to my ways actually, why I do what I do today. Your aspirations will set the tone and direction for your thoughts and actions. So without your aspirations, whatever you do will not have a lot of life in it. Make sure your aspirations are clearly understood, high awareness, high consciousness, because only then what you do, how you do, will get good shape actually. Yeah. Next one is financial planning. It's a very interesting piece actually, because I know most of us worry more about financial part when they want to shift from 9 to 5 job to doing something else. This is the very, very, very strong pillar actually. This is what is holding people. There are other things also, but this holds people the maximum. But I want to throw my stories as to what I did to become a solopreneur. Yeah. I did this actually, right? I go one by one. I closed all my debts. The moment I realized in 2015-16 that I want to quit my corporate job, I started closing all my debts because having an EMI or high EMI is what is holding people actually all the time, okay, without being able to live their dream life. So I didn't even invest further also on anything actually. I stopped investing anything, buying anything, and I started building the capital. In the meantime, yeah, closing all the debts with one step, followed by building capital. As I could save money, I'm building capital. And here's where I want to mention one thing. Many places, many YouTube videos, many books, if you read, everybody will say you need 6 months of capital to do something else, to try something else. But in my honest confession, 6 months is very, very less actually. 6 months will fly like this. Okay. So you need at least 2 years of 1 to 2 years. 1 is also less. 2 years of capital building. Let's say your salary is X, build 12 or 24X. 24X you can build as a capital cash, and then you can actually shift your interest to becoming a solopreneur. Okay, if anybody wants to do it, actually, right? In my case, backup option was there. My wife was working actually. She still works actually, and but that didn't become a buffer or comforting layer for me. I was not doing my solopreneur thing just because my wife is working, right? Even my wife was not working, I would have taken this daring step actually, right? My personal call. But yeah, I'm lucky, I'm fortunate that my wife is working actually, and in fact, when I started my solopreneur journey, I had to confess to her that in the next few years I wanted to quit your job because I would have built my business in a big level, and that dream is going true today. Actually, yeah, I'm happy to share that. There was no plan B. So when I started this solopreneur journey, I was very strong in what I want to do. Okay, I knew it's going to be challenging. It's going to be demanding on energy, thinking, focus, discipline, everything. But I was very daring that I want to succeed in this journey. So I didn't have a plan B actually. There was no plan to go back to corporate job. Yeah. Embracing minimalism. I say this because when you want to shift to 9 to 5 job to solopreneur career, I know finance is one of the biggest pillar. Finance is very uniquely works for everyone. Now, somebody will have a lot of capital, somebody may not have enough money in hand. There are a lot of cases actually. So, like for me especially, I was embracing already minimalism before even this juncture actually that I became a solopreneur. Like from the year of 2016 itself, I was a very minimalistic guy. I don't spend a lot of money on a lot of things actually. Yeah, that discipline was there in me. That really helped a lot actually in this transition. Yeah. So if you want to become a solopreneur, be ready to embrace minimalism, where you don't spend a lot of money on lavish things, unneeded things, wanting things. Yeah, just spend money on needed things, and that's how you transition. Yeah. Two important things, right? Planning for least earning. So this is very important actually. When you shift from 9 to 5 job to solopreneur role, you coming up to how much you want to be able to earn to start with that can run your life, operational life, financially is very important. Yeah. So I did that work actually with my wife and myself, sat together and discussed, how much I should be able to earn in a month so that I can run this financially life. And then we can, get better at it actually, right? That is one thing. Second thing is buy-in from family. So make sure you are, if you are a bachelor, parents, if you are married spouse, your children are grown up, children also. So you need support from all the people to be able to do this kind of a transition from a 9 to 5 job to a solopreneur role, right? In my case, I was to be very frank, my wife was apprehensive when I started this, but slowly over time, she has become she's admiring what I do today. Actually, I'm not bragging, but I'm happy. She's also happy today. Yeah? So it's all about the work that you have to do. So financial planning, mindset, discipline is very, very crucial. Yeah? I will pause here for a second. I know I'm talking a lot, already half an hour. Any questions that I can take, Srikanth, from people or anyone at this juncture?
Yeah, anybody has any questions for Ganesh as of now?
Yeah. So Ganesh, I had one question. Um, it's like when you shifted to be more health conscious, was there any reason or it was uh, just by choice? Like you were facing some health issues which made you do that, or it was just a switch? What happened?
No, just to go back to what I was sharing, I didn't have any illness as such. I didn't have any diabetes, hypertension, things like that. But what I went through was very hard on me, actually, hard on me as an individual. Like the stress level, the lower back pain was the very, very major one. I was bedridden for two weeks, actually, right? And I was very lazy also, like very lazy, waking up late, sleeping more because of stress. There was no discipline. I was eating more. So, like all of these together uh, made me feel bad about my physical self, actually. That was the thing, message. And that's how the call to change that happened, become healthier and fitter happened for me. I hope that answers.
Yeah, thank you.
I think there is another question from Bala Ganesh. So, what gave you confidence and perseverance to continue in this journey initially, Ganesh? Because you don't see any testimonials of success in this non-conventional path. I didn't understand the last one actually, because I think there are testimonials. But yeah, what gave you confidence and perseverance to continue in this journey initially? So I think you will be talking about it now, isn't it?
Yes, correct. I'm going to share actually how the progress happened as I started this. Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
share that. Yeah,
sure.
maybe I will give more answer also, but let's note that down and let's proceed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Srikant. So living the dream. So the three pillar areas, the living the dream is the third area where the actual work happens and how you transition. Yeah, how you start doing things, how it takes shape, what you get out of it, and how it propels you further in the journey. Yeah. So why did I become a solopreneur? I know the way I spoke about few things, but this also is a very crux of how the thought process happened behind the scenes. Yeah. So corporate job patterns started boring me. I did a lot of roles in different companies, different roles in the same company, and all through what I was seeing was it's pretty similar actually. No, more or less it's you are given a project program, you plan, you have a team, you have leaders, bosses, you have stakeholders. Like it was becoming monotonous for me. Yeah, it did not become for everyone, but for me it was becoming monotonous. I felt the grinding of doing the same thing again and again. Yeah, fulfillment was missing actually in the job. Like whatever I did, okay, I get salary, I'm working on it, it's happening. Despite my intentional efforts to feel good about my job, I was doing it at different points, but then I felt that for some time that the low comes. Low comes where, okay, I'm doing the same thing repeatedly, day in, day out. Just keep coming up, coming back. And oftentimes I was surrendered that, achieving my full potential was not being given enough care actually, right? Because of the corporate structure that you have. And the fifth point, if you see, right, growth decided by a handful of people. So if you think about it, right, in a career, you have to work for 30 years, 25 years, for example. And you work for hardly like 15, 12 bosses probably. And they decide your growth, your salary increment, in fact your life actually, because for most 95 people work is life actually. We spend most of the time there. And somehow all this came together on me and made me think deeply about, should I really be in corporate job? Yeah. So I saw all the downsides of a corporate job, right? Working for more than 2 decades actually. Yeah. In the meantime, upside, what was the upside? When I thought about doing a solopreneur role, what were the upsides? I saw several things actually. So I found my gift actually, which is health. I was very keen to give it back to people. Yeah. And this was definitely a propelling area for me. And I want to become my own boss because put the boss day in, day out, doing what they ask us to do, it started boring me. Yeah. Fulfilling my desires. So I had an interest to become more in my life, achieve more potential, right? Become a speaker, writer. All this wouldn't have happened if I had continued to the job actually. And maybe I would have gotten more money as an individual, but not my aspirations, fulfilled my aspirations. Yeah? More freedom, especially the potential to create more wealth. It's better in solopreneur, as I have known, as discovered and found now. And because when you work, what happens is, yes, you can become rich, wealthy in jobs also, but people who become exponentially rich and the ability to really make a lot of wealth is there in business, owning a business, doing solopreneur, things like this, not in jobs actually. So the meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. That's how I decided to do solopreneur. Yeah, a few things about niche. When you become a solopreneur, knowing your niche, your strength, your skill, your strength area, it's very, very important. I will share a few perspectives about how you should go about discovering or working on your niche. Yeah. So you explore with an open mindset to identify your niche. I have seen a lot of people come to me. Even today, people come to me and ask, so how do I identify my niche? They come and ask me actually. So what do I know about their lives? Correct? You should know more about your life, and you should know your strengths. As a life coach or coaching role, I can help you discover that. But then it should start from you actually. If you're asking the question of what is my niche, it is you who should explore and do some work to see where your strengths are, from which the niche can come out. Yeah? Your strengths majorly, generally, if you see, your strengths will show the way to your niche. In my case, it has been the case because I saw my strengths. It showed the way to my niche actually. Confirm if the niche is real. So how I did this? Through side hustle. Yeah, I thought about shifting to solopreneur role from a 9 to 5 job, but can I do it immediately? No, I can't do it immediately. So I know my niche. So what do I do about it now to monetize my niche? I become a side hustle. I started doing side hustle while I was in job, and I really tested myself, going out there, leading people, giving them exercises, making them do workouts. Like how I tested myself literally on the ground actually, right? So this is another way to do it. Yeah. So you have to be able to test yourself if the niche is real for you. Yeah. Are you able to connect with it, live with it? Is very, very important. And also niche evolves. Let's say people say I have one niche, and do I live with that niche all the time in my life? It doesn't. It is not like that actually. You identify a niche, it evolves actually. In my case, I started as a running coach, but today I'm doing much more than running actually. I'm giving holistic health to people to what I do today. And it can happen over time for anyone, right? Whatever niche you take, if you keep working on your niche, it starts showing you the way actually of bigger domains, bigger areas that you can work on. The same thing on the second point, and then your attitude and thinking patterns will fuel your work in your niche. So again, this is again going back to why, the why of what you do. That's where your attitude will stem from. Your attitude, your thinking patterns, all has to come from your why actually to feed into your niche and your work that you do. Yeah, I spoke about monetizing quickly. Like, you can start side hustle first, and then that will show you the way to monetize your niche, which I will share more about that in the upcoming slides, how it happened over time. Some of the success stories and earning channels. I again say here earning channels, not income channels, because income is again time versus money. I'm in a journey to break my time versus my money. I want to break that equation. Yeah. Success stories. So far, what I have done a book, Be a Runner Forever. More books are in progress, both in health and motivational areas. As I become a speaker on health and wellness and motivation, keynote speaker at many organizations. Product promotions is what also I do. As part of my health coaching, I promote some other products that I believe in, tested myself. And I don't just sell products. I want to make sure it becomes part of the program that I offer actually. I don't simply push the product for sales. I make sure it serves a purpose to people. And that's how I'm doing product promotion today. I'm also a health and wellness speaker for many corporates and their clients. Currently, I'm working with two corporates, two healthcare industry corporates. They have plenty of clients all over the globe. So I do regular webinars for them. They read sessions for their customers actually. So I do that. I'm also started being a mentor and advisor for healthcare startups. People reach out to me and they request me to be because of the knowledge that I share regularly with the public. They have a call with me and they have found my strengths and skills, expertise. So I'm doing that also right now. I'm also conducting paid webinars, being part of masterclasses initiatives. So apart from me doing webinars, there are other coaches in the market today who also need hands actually. So they reach out to me and say, Ganesh, can you do one of the masterclasses for me? Things like that, and I do that as well today. I'm a top voice on LinkedIn because since 2022 October, I have been sharing content every day. I post twice a day. So morning generally around motivation and life skills. Evening around 5:30, I share any content on health actually. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, you can do so. That's the progress I've made so far, and work to be done. There are so much work to be done, actually, much more to be done. Creating digital courses, writing more books, conducting more master classes, building audience is one of my focus area also. So today I have 7,000 plus followers in LinkedIn. I'm slowly working to increase that to more numbers. I also have followers in Facebook and Instagram also. I have not spent a lot of time on those areas yet, actually, because of my business in other work areas. But I want to be doing more work there as well. I'm also thinking to become a visiting faculty because of my niche strength in the healthcare space. So I'm exploring that also. So in my perspective, success is not a milestone or destination. It's about your progress. There is no destination in the success life cycle. You just keep making progress. Just keep making progress. Imagine that there is no end to what you do. Just keep doing it, and you will see that things have compounded exponentially as you do over time. Yeah. So earning channels quickly. I will not go through this fully. I will give a few seconds here. Take a look at this. At a very high level, what I do, area of work, type of income, how do I make earning out of it? What kind of earning it is? Is it active or passive? Active means needing my time. Passive means it doesn't need a lot of my time. I just spend time once and then I make money out of it. Yeah, like how you invest in stocks or equity markets, for example. Yeah, like that, something like that. And then state, progress or planning in progress. Just go through it yourself quickly. So possibilities are endless. In a solopreneur journey, possibilities are endless actually. But your why needs to be very clear, reflected upon at all times. Why I say this second statement is a lot of people start solopreneur journey or freelancer journey like this. And what happens over time is they are so much tied to the money part of the equation. And because they think whatever they do should give them some money back, some return should come. They think like that actually. No, effort versus money. I think personally I have been able to break that equation because I wanted to focus on my work more, and the belief that whatever you do, if you do a good job, the byproduct is money. Money comes when you do a real good work. Yeah, and for the most part, it has been true in my life. It is happening actually, and it can happen to you also. Yeah, if you do a good job, deep work, things will happen to you. Yeah, I'll move on now. I hope you have taken a look at this slide. Marketing and finding clients. This is one of the key areas, right? Very, very important because, see, if you want to do a freelancer or solopreneur job, who do you work for? Who will pay you? It's one of the core component. Yeah? Without that, you can't move ahead. Yeah. I will share one thing first and then move on to where all I'm getting clients and what I'm doing about it, right? So positioning and your products and services is very, very important. How you position your products and services. So why I want to share this is I want to convey a couple of key points here. Yeah. See, there are a lot of running coaches in the market today. When I became a solopreneur, I did running coaching as a first vertical. Yeah, when I started this journey. But did I stop with being running coaches? No, I expanded my portfolio of services. So why that happened also is because running coaches are very transactional in nature. They want more people to join their program. They go to place physically. Yeah. And I saw all the flaws in how they are doing it. See, I'm not saying you can't do running coaching and make life out of it. There are a lot of coaches are making things out of it. But to my aspirations that I had in my bucket list, become a speaker, to become a educator, whatever I want to become, a writer. To do all that, if I become a running coach on the platform, going out, spending my time with people, I may make some money, but I don't think I can achieve my full potential. That's where I thought how I create my services, my product should be niche and in the way that I want to do it and still give value to people. Yeah, that's where I became with one-on-one coaching. Yeah, so I have gone through my personal transformation. I have learned a lot of things, and when I do coaching one-on-one, I start to see that it is impacting lives really well. Actually, discovered that, and that's how I position. That's how I position my services and products today. My core income comes from my health coaching, and I do one-on-one programs globally for many clients. And I do end-to-end coaching, right? Nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, everything I do actually for people. And when people come to me, they are with me for in programs, say let's say for 9 months or 1 year. When they leave me, actually, they really are very thankful and very impactful life they live after they leave me, actually, because they have learned so much over a period of time. Yeah. So the point is, you will not be transactional in what you do, and burnout. You can be niche in what you do and still make good money and live a happy life. That's the point I want to convey here. And how I generate lead today, who do I get customers? I use social media majorly. I started LinkedIn in 2022 October, and that's how the leads are coming to me, and that is one channel for me. And then referrals from existing customers. Whoever comes to me, they feel the impact of the change in them from health and wellness standpoint. They refer to more customers. So today, if you see, most of my customers come through referral. Majority of them. Yeah. I also get leads from other areas, other channels that I'm going to talk about, but it's coming from referrals more, actually. That's good. And website, I have a website, and leads come from there also. I have done a lot of interviews so far, many interviews. I speak on podcasts. People come to me and interview me, talking about several things. So people get to see those interviews, podcasts, and they are curious about what I have done. What can they get from me? That's how also I have got customers. Yeah. And book sales. So when people buy a book, read, and they get the impression of taking the service from me, and they come to me. So all this is happening. And in terms of channels that I use today, I use topmade.io as a gateway for my prospects today. Like topmade.io, you have several other channels, like for example, Calendly, simple tools just to put something in place, brief description of your service, products. People take a look at it and book a call with you. You have a discovery call with them, discuss with them, and you explain what you offer and what they need actually. If there is a good sync, they sign up for the program. That's how it happens. So I'm going to do more work in Teachable, Udemy, more domains to be explored actually. So nowadays, if you see, we call something called a creator economy. Creator economy, this is a term actually. If you don't know what it is there are a lot of people like me today in the world today, using the internet and the skills. They are living their life actually. When I say that, they are making more money, less money, whatever money, but you can make a good life out of internet and your skills. Yeah. And so Teachable is one such platform actually, right? You go there, you can sell digital courses, you can sell your books, you can conduct webinars. So every portal like Teachable is actually giving a platform to creators like me, and go there, build things, and pull audience, grow audience, sell your things, make money. That's how it's working right now. Yeah. So I'm working more on that front now, actually, as I work on all other things. So only being consistent will bring the leads. Never lose the focus on showing up, right? So you have to be consistent in showing up. How I post in LinkedIn today, consistently post up. No, don't wait for likes and comments. Never ever wait for likes and comments, because there are more spectators who are seeing your content, and they come to you and become a customer. So I have a lot of examples in my case who just called me one day and said, Ganesh, I want to be your customer. That's how things happen actually, when you show up consistently well. Yeah. We'll give a pause here again. Can I see if there are questions? There are two more areas to cover actually: lessons learned and tools and resources. Before that, any other questions from anyone?
Yeah, any questions from anybody? I definitely have some questions, but any questions from anybody else?
Yeah, hi Ganesh sir. I have a question here.
Yeah.
So in one of the slide, basically you showed when you are starting on your solopreneur journey, maybe 6 months is not enough. I mean, in that financial planning area, basically, like, did you follow any thumb rule or any guidance, or would you like to give any guidance, like what kind of salary savings or backup basically one should plan and one should have or plan and then take that plunge?
Yes, I covered it actually, but I will restate it quickly. Good, thanks for the question. See, when I say 6 months, 6 months is not enough, right? What I meant is, let's say your take home is, let's say, for example, 1 lakh, for example. Okay, 1 lakh salary you get, you lead the life. You lead the life, and I say your operational expenses and your investments, whatever you do, you will be definitely doing some investment, right? Either house EMI or children needs, whatever it is, yeah, creating wealth, whatever it is. So to be able to leave your job and do a solopreneur thing, so solopreneur, when you become, your earning will actually go start from rock bottom and it will slowly go up. Yeah, it won't be on day one, it won't be a 1 lakh per month salary you can't make in solopreneur journey actually. Yeah. There will be exceptionally well people who can make, but not everyone. Yeah. So my point there is at least have 24 months of salary as a capital. So let's say your salary is 1 lakh, 24 lakhs, if you can build as a savings, liquid cash, keep it ready, and then jump into the ocean of solopreneur. If that makes it clear. Yeah? Because 2 years is a very good time because 2 years can change so much. So much, and you can be doing a lot actually. Yeah. So 2 years is a good time. 2 years is a good time. So, but I understand that even saving such a big capital also is not easy because only when you have a strong way for becoming a solopreneur, you will stop investing in other places, stop building capital. So what happens to most of the people? I will tell you. Yeah, people don't stop investing. They keep buying houses, cars, too many things they keep buying. The may continue to keep them going, draining on their savings actually. Okay, and that's where in my case, what I did is I closed my debts. I stopped buying things. I had enough actually. In my case, fortunately, but then it's a call that you have to make. Now, only when you stop buying things, save more, build your capital, you will give a chance to you to become a solopreneur. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thanks. That 2 years figure was very helpful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, one question actually I have is, and this is a very important one. What I see is that, and I also admire it because I also struggle the way somebody who is trying to generate the content on the LinkedIn. It's not easy actually. So um, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how do you make sure that you are able to generate the content uh, consistently, and then you are able to do it, and uh, then you basically keep pushing yourself actually to make sure that it happens. And
Yes.
in case you see some sort of challenges in this journey as publishing the content, you may want to share that as well.
Yes. Great question, Srikant. Yeah, because posting content is one of the main area for all the creators like me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solopreneurs like me. Yeah. See, when I started posting content, I was little, I will say, not organized well. Yeah, I will share openly what happened to me. Right.
Mhm.
I started sharing contents, deciding choose one content a day. Right. One day, one content I will share, and it was generic, any video or image,
Yeah.
personal image, sharing some content. Right. I
Yeah.
did that by doing it on an everyday basis. So every day morning I get up. So 5:30 content has to go out. So morning 9 o'clock I get up, think of something and do a content, create the content by myself. And by then the scheduling option was not there in LinkedIn. So you have to keep the content ready. At 5:30 you sit in the laptop, create the post and post it. That's how I used to do initially.
Mhm.
But then the scheduling option is there now in LinkedIn where you can schedule the content. Just give me 1 second, okay? I'll get battery for my
Sure,
mobile.
sure. No problems. Yeah,
Give me a
absolutely.
second.
Also, if anybody is having questions, they can keep sharing it on the chat box, and then we can keep them taken actually as well.
For the patience, 1 second. I'll just. Can you still see me okay?
It we can see, but I mean, other way around, like upside down.
It's like this. Okay. Is it fine now? Yeah.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah, to answer the question, yeah. So I did that initially for a few months or weeks, I think. And then what I learned from some of the co-creators and other people on the LinkedIn social media channel is they actually have a discipline. So what we should do is every week, Saturday morning or evening, Sunday morning or evening, sit down and create content for the upcoming week. So if you do 14 posts, I create 14 content on either Saturday or Sunday. Today I do that actually by myself. Yeah. So that's how the content is constantly coming out. So you feel that I'm posting every day, but not every day. I post in advance also actually. And there are tools in the market which you can use. I don't use it right now, but you can use to automate posting in Instagram, LinkedIn, all these social media channels. Yeah, you can just schedule the posts in advance. There are tools available for that as well. Yeah.
But I think you are using LinkedIn scheduler, is it?
I am using LinkedIn schedule right now. Yes, I don't use even Tapley or something is there, which is only for LinkedIn. It works really nice. I'm going to use that in the near future. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, sorry. Please go on.
And the second part of the question is, how do I get ideas to create content? Is also another aspect, because you sit down and you think of what do I want to write about. It actually is you go blank sometime, right? But now I think it's pretty easy. ChatGPT is there. Just put one query and it gives you hundreds of ideas. It's not a very difficult task anymore.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think we can continue.
Good. So in terms of tools and resources for solopreneurs, I use Canva for content creation currently for majority of the content. Be it my quotes that I post, some of the infographics I create, I use predominantly Canva. I create some video contents, not a plenty of them, but I have created some on my YouTube channel, and I continue to create. So I use Camtasia for that. It's a video editing, recording and editing tool. I use ChatGPT for ideas, research data, survey. So as part of my job as a speaker, and corporate speaker, being a mentor and advisor for corporate healthcare startups, all that, I have to really deep dive in some of the areas, right? For which I need a lot of good contents. So ChatGPT is amazing, actually. Yeah, it used to be Google in the past, but I don't more use Google now. I use only ChatGPT because if you ask any question, relevant question in the right way, it gives you fantastic data actually to build things upon, not just copy paste, but build things upon. Following the right people in your domains, health, writing, motivation, finance, business. These are the 5 areas I focus more. So what I do is generally I go to LinkedIn and search for people and follow them over time, connect with them, so that I consistently see their posts and interact with them and learn from them actually. It's one of the key things that you have to do as a solopreneur. As you see here, I have a Blue Yeti microphone. I have a tripod, lights at home to create digital courses, which I'm going to do very soon. And so I'm just building some of the basic tools right now. Much more to come on that areas. Yeah. Lessons learned, actually, this is one of the major area of my presentation. I hope you guys have few more minutes. I know we are cross 8:30 here, but I'll quickly cover this. Some of them I've covered already, I think, in the previous slides, but I'll quickly go through this. Very important. So start early. The power of compounding is very real. If you have an idea of becoming a solopreneur, leaving your corporate job, start today with whatever idea you have. Start building something, start doing something about it. Yeah. The least thing that you can do is build an audience for you. While you are in job, create one post daily in LinkedIn. Build an audience. Keep interacting with your audience. Pick up an area where you are good at. Share about that. Do it consistently, and that will start showing the way actually. Take help from mentors and coaches to accelerate your progress growth. Very, very important. I do from time to time. I keep talking to people. They're not my regular mentors or permanent mentors, but I see them as my mentor actually. I talk to them, get some ideas. I keep evolving in what I do. More followers do not necessarily mean more business. So this also is very paradoxical and real thing. Okay. So I know of many people who have a lot of followers, but they don't know what to do with it. Yeah. So it's very important to connect your number of followers with what product services that you offer. So if you ask me today, very frankly, I'm yet to build the products that I can monetize through a larger audience. That is one reason I have not spent a lot of time to build an audience actually, because without building product services that I can sell, I want to build an audience. It's how I am thinking about it. You may think differently, but I'm just sharing this point because it's a nuisance. Okay, you have to know about it.
And
Don't
just
look for
to
likes.
just to make sure that I have seen that many other influencers also feel the same. I mean, they're at least in the pro development scene. One person I know actually, he has tons of followers, but then at the same time, it doesn't really bring any business to him. So that's pretty true actually.
Very true. It's a very irony actually. Yeah? I know people who had a lot of followers, they still had to go back to corporate job because they couldn't make anything out of it.
Yeah.
Very careful. Don't look for likes and comments. Many of my customers were silent spectators. It's a very hard truth. Like so many customers of mine that today I have, they didn't make even one single like or one single comment on my post.
This
but
is
they have gone to
this is very
customer.
nice one. Sorry to interrupt here, but I like this actually. Sorry.
And then don't build stuff. Build small, consist products with value. Very small things start doing, and that will, as you grow your expertise in that area, you can think bigger and do bigger things. Don't think of big things to start with. Start small things and then grow. Yeah. Perfection is a killer. Never try to be perfect. You only become best over time, not on day one. Yeah. So it takes time to become best. When I say best, there are too many bests in the world today, but in your own sense, you can do things in a much better way. It's also another way you can look at it. It happens over time, actually. Pricing your products and services is not easy. So I will share my experience. When you start, you will have to price low. Yeah, definitely in India, especially, people look at price predominantly. So pricing has to be very key when you start. I know it will be painful when in the starting time for you because you will spend a lot of time, effort, but you will get paid less. But you have to go through that phase to build your popularity or your niche, your strength, your presence in that domain. Actually, the presence. Yeah, people should know you, right? Only when you do the work, people should know you. People will know you. So that happens. So today, if you see, I have been able to increase my fee to 65% more actually, what I started the day one, right? So it's increasing now. My value is increasing in the market today. It happens over time, slowly. And discipline, health, focus, self-motivation. These four are very core for solopreneurs. Because without health, you can't give your time and effort in a role like this. It will demand a bit. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it will demand. You have to be ready for it. You need discipline. Without discipline, you can't build the things. Yeah, without no one telling you what to do. You have to tell yourself and do. So that is very important. Focus. You have to focus all the time. Self-motivation. So all these four, without these four, you can't succeed in the long term. Not even in short term. Long term is no question. You can't succeed at all. Yeah. Few more I have. Your clients can be your unpaid ambassadors. If you serve them well, they will get you more business. This is one of the truth I've realized. Today, I have a good set of customers. I'm able to make good income earning because of referrals, actually, which is a nice thing. Referral is not just about India. It just goes anywhere in the world, actually. People connect. World is very small, we say, right? It connects people so quickly and it turns into opportunity for me. Yeah. Serve customer really well. When you get a customer, serve them really well, and you don't worry about anything else. We should have immense self-awareness. So this is a very small point, but it's a very important point actually. Yeah? With self-awareness only, everything starts. So the way I identified my niche, I groomed it, did side hustle, converted into full time. Everything happened because of the self-awareness that I have about me actually. So where I'm good at, what I'm good at, what can I do, how much I'm aspiring to do things. Yeah, all those things work together actually. You should be well versed in working with your intuitional thinking. This is also very important. So like I said in the first slide, right? Objectivity versus subjectivity. So I know the world is always ask you about objectivity, so people ask assurance, what is the risk level? Everything people talk about, but that won't move the needle actually. The needle moves only when you actually work on your intentional thinking. What feels right for you? What feels good for you? What feels the right thing to do at that moment? Yeah. Develop that intentional thinking. How you do it, it happens over time actually. Yeah? It happens over time. And for me, especially, the intentional thinking happened majorly through my meditations. I do regular meditation. So like whenever I do meditation, I go deep within me, and that's how I fetch out the directions. Yeah, directions comes for me actually, right? So I know it's a very subjective thing, but yeah, end of the day, many people who have succeeded in this world today, they all were going by gut feeling actually. What felt right in the nick of a moment, this is what I want to do. I think this is possible. If you think of something like that, work on it. It'll happen. Yeah. Showing up consistently is way too important to move the needle in the game. Yeah, like I said earlier, right? Consistency is very important. Either posting, whatever you do, be consistent. Yeah. Having conversations with fellow creators, no one is stranger. So what I do currently is as I keep posting on LinkedIn every day, people comment, like, I interact. So slowly over time, like I set up call with them. They're strangers, but slowly because we have interacted in comments, likes, I talk to them, call them and talk to them. They call me and they talk to me. Actually, that's how we build relationships, and that's how also you get more leads or conversions on your areas. Let's say I talk to five creators. They think of me actually. Because they know me, because they've spoken to me, they know what I do. They refer me actually. So I also refer them also. So that all happens. Yeah. How you keep doing things at the same pace, even during your lows, will define your success. So it will happen. You will go to a very low at some time actually. So for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, no leads has come. Yeah. But don't think of, oh, no lead is coming. No. Work on serving your customers really well. And what you have to do, keep doing it well. Suddenly a surge of leads will come. That's how this works actually, right? And one final thing is you cannot plan everything and then take action. Don't procrastinate. Don't plan too much. Your life will go in planning only. Nothing will happen. Nothing will come out. Sometimes what you do is you do things, you keep doing things, and they add up over time. Actually, they become bigger at some point in time, and it will take a shape. Actually, life. Yeah? Day in the life of Ganesh Kuduva. Quickly, this slide I will cover. Yeah, 2 minutes. So I do few classes. I do online strength classes for my customers, training classes. In an average 4 to 6 classes I do, morning few, evening few. A full day I have for myself, whatever I want to do, I can do. Physical and mental health activities for self. So I focus on my health and wellness also pretty dominantly. I spend time in running, exercise, and I do meditate. I do Vipassana meditation recently. I started Vipassana meditation. So I'm doing that also now regularly every 1 hour, every day 1 hour. And so it's very important actually. Your health is the fuel in your journey actually, right? Content creation I do every day, spend some time on them, focus time for them, courses, books, webinars, social media, for all that I create content. Training plan I create, nutrition plan I create for my customers. I resolve customer challenges, queries, problems, responsibilities as a mentor and advisor. So I get work from those space as well, where I have to spend my time. Meeting with stages, growing network. This is also one of the area that I continue to work because I build my network, right? It's there's a lot of good things to me. Consuming content. This is also very, very important. You can do more in your space only when you consume more. When I say more, not more actually, but consume quality content. So I follow some of the podcast, YouTube regularly actually, right? I read books. So all this are very important because they energize me. They make me think in certain new directions in my domain. Yeah. So it's very, very important. And time for family needs. So because I'm showing family at the last, it doesn't mean family is last. Actually, family is first for me always. if a family need comes, I throw away everything. Actually, I go for family first. That's what I have got in my solopreneur life. Yeah. Because in my native I couldn't do that. I had to be at work. I had to be in meetings. So it was like very challenging to serve family well. Closing inspiration. I will not talk a lot in this because I've covered many of them. High self-awareness, intuitional based thinking. World is full of noise. World is full of noise. You need to find your voice. I could do this because the COVID came and do it well because COVID came and I stopped talking to a lot of people. I know many people may be feeling bad about why I didn't talk to them in this time, right? But it was essential for me to go into my own self and do things because I wanted to become a solopreneur full time and do bigger things, better things. And the focus was pretty intense. And I had to cut down all the noise from the world actually. Right? I disconnected from everyone. I still spoke to few people, close people, friends, and family and all. But I spent the least time on social media, as I used to spend earlier, right before solopreneur. So I cut down all my time and so believing is everything. You have to believe. Again, I said subjectivity, right? Subjective is it's all competing always. But for me, many of the times, subjectivity has given me the edge or the kick actually, right? It has moved me forward actually. Yeah. So you should have a belief in what you do. Very, very important. Yeah? Otherwise, people can come and bias you and make you drop things. Yeah? World is full of opportunities. It has so many opportunities, and we all are always thinking, the world is dry. When we talk to 9 to 5 job guys, we always think of, oh, market is very dry. Job market is very dry. We all the time say that actually. We say that because we actually are so much influenced by the world actually. Everybody says that. 90% people say that actually. Only 10% people will take time and do things differently and get good jobs even in the tough market. It is possible. World is always having opportunities. You have to do the right things to get the opportunities. This is a quote I like. I keep reading this quote myself. I wrote this quote. Keep reading this because today what I'm doing is because I believe in my strengths, and the strength is taking me ahead actually. You should believe in strength. Very, very important. All the best, guys. That's all I had to say in this presentation. This is my QR code. You can scan this. It will take you to linktree.Ganesh Kuduva. I have all my links there, my social media, my offerings, everything is there, book link, all the things are there. You can reach out to me if you need any help. Any more questions anyone has?
What kind of meditation you do, Ganesh?
Quickly, I will say I used to do breathing-based meditation, breathing-based, chanting-based. And then I also have done Sudarshan Kriya from Art of Living meditation. So these three I have done. I used to do all these three in the past. But last year, September 2024, I went for Vipassana meditation, 10-day course. It's a course where if you don't know, you disconnect yourself as good as a monk. You live by yourself. You don't talk to anyone. You don't use mobile, no laptop, no books, no pen, no paper. You live by yourself, all by yourself, doing 10 hours of meditation every day. I did that course last year, September. Ever since I am following Vipassana meditation. I think I have found the right meditation for me now after my discovery and journey of meditations, sort of meditation I've done. But Vipassana feels the closest to me so far. I'm enjoying it, and more than enjoying, I'm liking it and doing good for me. Yeah.
Thanks, Ganesh.
Yeah.
Hey, Ganesh, I have a question about your book writing journey. So a lot of I was hoping to hear about your your experience about writing your book. Means a lot of us basically randomly keep writing stuff and all. So what it takes basically to put it down in a structured manner and give it a form of a book, whether it's a like non-fiction book or a fiction book. So if you can talk a little bit on that journey, that will be helpful.
Sure, absolutely. So in my case, like I mentioned, I got the urge to write my first book somewhere in 2016. 16 is when I got the urge to think of a book actually. So I should write a book. Is when I thought in 16. But it took a lot of time actually because whenever I was running, whenever I was working, whatever I was doing, this idea of writing a book was keep hitting me all the time, right? What I was doing is, I was writing actually. I open a Word document in my laptop, working laptop itself. I will write what I want to write. Whatever thought comes to me, whatever ideas come to me, I write it down, right? So I was doing this for quite some time actually. It was happening almost for a year and a half, 2017, even mid of 18. Yeah. And in this course of time, I also got in touch with people, the people who are my clients at that time when I was doing side hustle, who were my clients. They were also authors actually. So I also spoke to them as to how to structure the content for the book. How do you create chapters for the book? How do you set timelines for each chapter? How do you write it down? And then how do you edit it? All that I was learning from them actually. So in a nutshell, what I will say is, having learned the process now, if you have a book idea, spare like a fixed time in a week on that book. Be it writing or editing, whatever you want to do on that, about that book, spend that time every week. Only then things will progress. You will make progress. And I will also say that don't write a book of too many pages or big idea. Take a small idea, test yourself as to learn the process of book publishing. How do you write the book? How do you publish the book? So nowadays, it is very, very easy. You write the book, and that's all you have to do. No, so there are publications, too many publication companies. You go to them, you pay them like 10K or 15K. They will do everything else: editing, book cover, all the publication processes are so automated. You just publish the book in 1 week or 2 weeks maximum. Yeah, it's very easy actually. So, in a nutshell, spend fixed time in a week regularly. Set some timelines to your goal. How many pages you want to write, in what time you want to write. Set the goal and just go through that process, and you will be able to do it. Hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you. So any resources would you like to mention that helps in writing the book?
You mean
Content creating is one thing. Okay, I should have my content, but
so content create, if you do, you don't have to do much. You can go to, for example, Notion Press is where I published my book, notionpress.com. So you can go to them. You can go to them, support team, and ping them and talk to them, give them your content, and they'll publish. It's basically self-publication. In publication, there are different types. So the publisher publishes your book is one type, which is ideal publication, but that takes a lot of time. Let's say you write a book, you give to them and ask them to publish, not as a self-publication, right? As a publication, publisher's publication, sorry. So they take a lot of time. They review the book for 6 months, 1 year. The lead time is very long, actually. So that's where nowadays, if you see, no one waits, actually. Everyone does self-publication. When it's self-publication, basically, you have a book ready. No one cares about it. You go to publisher. They create the content in the right form, format it, put a cover, and publish it. That's how it works. Yeah?
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Srikanth, you are on mute.
So Ganesh, just one last question for you. First of all, thank you so much for this webinar. This was really, really important webinar for all of us. And so one question is about, I think you are an avid reader as well, and you have been reading a lot of books recently. So any recommendations which you would like to share with the rest of us?
Yeah. So in terms of how to quit the job and become a solopreneur, or in general, you are asking?
I think it's in general, because there is no set rules on anything actually. Whatever things I mean, there may be tons of books which everybody reads, and there may be some couple of them, or some which you feel that they have been really good for you. So you can just share them actually.
Yeah. So I shared in one of the slides, there's a book called Grit,
Yeah.
Grit, Grit. It's written by Angela Duckworth. That's one of the phenomenal book. That book actually deep dives into how people journey through their niche, what special areas they have, interest areas they have, how they explore, how the journey goes. It's a very fantastic book. It can give insight into what are the possibilities, how it works in the real world actually. And that book is one good book
Martin
for
Meadows.
anybody.
Written by the Martin Meadows?
No, Angela Duckworth.
Okay.
Angela Duckworth, yeah. That's and another book I will say is Big Magic. Book title is Big Magic. It's written by I'm not able to recall the author name actually. Very famous author. You can search in Google Big Magic.
Yeah.
She's a writer herself actually. So if you are into writing, if you have writing interest in other areas also, but because she's a writer, she writes more about writing. But then that book gives you a lot of nudges about how you can identify your niches, how you can groom them, nurture them, become good at what you do for your living, and more also. Yeah? It's a good book.
Elizabeth Gilbert. That
Yes,
one, yeah.
Elizabeth Gilbert. Yes, correct. That's the one. Thank you. It's a good book. In running, I haven't read many books that also have inspired me, but there's plenty of books. You can see my LinkedIn post for that. That's pretty much right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And one request, Srikanth, if all of you can come on the video, everybody take a screenshot. It'll be nice to use for posting and all.
So meanwhile,
It's okay.
everyone coming to the camera, I would like to say big thanks to Ganesh. I mean, I had a chance to work with Ganesh, and I know him personally. It's really genuine, guys. I mean, really thanks you attended here, and I really got a lot of things from your lesson learned. I mean, suddenly I got motivated to do many things, but the lesson learned was really nice. Thanks, Ganesh.
Thank you, Prabhat. Good seeing you after a long time.
Same here.
Good.
okay, so I think I can just capture this, what we have. I think people are still coming, so let me just wait one more
Coming
time.
on video. Good.
Just give me a sec. So I think we can take this one. So thank you everyone for joining because it is a evening time, so thank you everyone for joining this webinar, and I hope you found something useful for you and which you can use in your daily life actually.
If
Thank
there
you.
are any interest to cover more topics, let me know. I'll be glad to talk to all of you again, guys. Feel free to let me reach out. Thanks again for the opportunity to talk to all of you. All the best. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Okay.